the FCTA, as well as important government officials hereby present, members of the Presidential CNG initiative team. We are here today to fulfill a promise of Mr. President that is going to move Nigeria towards a clean energy future to power our transportation, to deliver lower cost of transportation to our people. If you recall, about a month ago, the Presidential CNG initiative was a beneficiary of the benevolence of Mr. President's policy when the NNPC, through its foundation, delivered to us 35 buses. Immediately, we went to action to identify potential onward beneficiaries of these buses to ensure that it gets to the people of Nigeria and delivers the promise of Mr. President. Naturally, we looked around, and our Federal Capital Territory, having demonstrated great support for this program, having shown great innovation itself by investing not just in roads, but in terminals under the leadership of the Honorable Minister, aka Mr. Project, and the Transport Mandate Secretary providing the support and the team at FCTA. We felt that the FCTA should be a major beneficiary of this. And I'm honored, deeply honored, that right after I made a call yesterday when that decision was made, I spoke to the Mandate Secretary. I said, can we have it in the next 24 hours? Because our philosophy at the PCNGI is to talk and do. We like to implement as soon as decisions are made. And he said it is doable. He's going to confer with the minister, and he got back to me within 2 hours. And that is why we're here today. I just want to thank you. I want to thank your team. I want to thank everybody at the FCT for the yeoman's job that you are doing. And we hope that these buses, as we already promised and signing, that this will be a foundation asset to the operation of the new terminal and transportation system. I look forward in the next 2 to 3 years to an FCT where I will decide, despite the fact that I own numerous vehicles, to leave my vehicle at home and to take one of these buses to town and to my places of work, as is done in other developed climes. The Nigerian Federal Capital Territory, as I said yesterday at the event, in any event where you represented the minister, is Nigeria's, I consider it Nigeria's most important physical achievement since independence. Because the land we are in today was not occupied 40 years ago. And here we are, a thriving national capital, because Nigerians made it happen. And that same way that we made it happen, we're going to make compressed natural gas happen for transportation. I want to thank you, and I want to say that we look forward to your continued partnership. We just left the FRSC, and they informed us that now they are launching new plate number formats for both CNG and EV vehicles in September. They also received 1 bus, but you are receiving 4 because you are one of our biggest supporters. And also because through you, we know more people, because you are in the business of direct transportation at the FCT. We see your terminals, we see your road. So we want to thank you, and on behalf of Mr. President, since this is the presidential initiative, and Mr. President, this program is dear to his heart. He wants Nigerians to move around cheaper, safer, and more reliable. On behalf of Mr. President, on behalf of the board of the PCNGI, led by Barrister Ismail, and the management and staff of the Presidential CNG initiative, I hand over these keys to you of these 4 CNG hybrid buses to the glory of God, to the service of humanity, and for the enjoyment of the people of the FCT. Thank you.
Honorable Minister of the FCT, receive the keys to these buses. It was just yesterday that we talked about this when the minister had asked me to represent him in the national CNG program in Portland Gas. And when you said, Honorable Minister, my brother, we're going to do something to surprise you. And I said, what was it? He said, we're going to give you 4 super 50-seater hybrid buses between CNG and AGO that will run immediately. If there's no CNG, it runs on AG. I said, are you serious? And he said, we can do it in 24 hours, and we're very happy. And the promise you made is buses are here. And it is, we know this is what we preach about the renewed hope agenda. Because for the 50-seater bus times 4, we're talking about moving 200 people plus in one fell swoop. And the Honorable Minister of the FCT has the program. He always said it that no modern city can survive, or there is no modern city without a robust public transportation system. And so public transportation is meant to move people from one point to the other, especially those who cannot afford private transportation, or those who can afford private transportation but opt to go on the public system. Because the tourists, when the tourists come in, the tourists don't come in with their private transportation. So the tourism also depends on a robust public transportation system. That is why the Honorable Minister has built roads and bridges and is now building bus terminals. We have just commissioned 2 ultra-modern bus terminals at Mambushi and Kubo. And obviously these buses, as good as they look, will be seat buses. We're going to get more buses. The Minister is already working on that. But we thank you so very much for this. This looks very nice. It looks very nice. I'm sure both those who have a private transportation or not will enjoy the riding. So on behalf of the Honorable Minister, once more, and the FCTA, we thank you, and we say that you should extend our gratitude to Mr. President, whose initiative this is, and you too for your industry and hard work. So once more, we thank you very, very much.